All right, folks. Today's adventure, I'm going to go check out the canals. I'm going to take the 508 bus there. Got some street food and ready to start the morning. We're going to take the bus over and then catch a canal tour.
So I found this tour online. It was through TripAdvisors, and it was $33 or about 1,100 baht for a 2-hour tour. And it turned out to be really awesome and a great deal, so I recommend it. So we boarded the long-tail boat, and then we headed out toward the canals on the Chao Phraya River, which is the major river in Bangkok. We had this 16.5-meter long-tail boat with a big turbo diesel engine on the back and the operator. And then he took us to the canal, and then there were these lock gates for the canal, which we had to negotiate. It took a little bit of time. We had to wait for one to open, and then we sat in the middle and then waited for the other one to open, and then we passed through, and there were other boats doing it as well. There's a bit of a delay, but it was kind of cool to just see how it all works. And then we headed down the canal, and we got to see what Thai life was about along the canal. So there were a lot of other boats, a lot of long tails, and then we got to see kind of the shanty town and the way people live along the canal, as well as some of the businesses. And there's just a lot of old buildings and people just doing stuff. It was really fun just to cruise on this boat and see all the sights along the way. There's a guy feeding the pigeons, and then they had these flat boats where people would come out and try to sell you stuff. That guy didn't come out, but later a woman came out with her flatboat. She had a bunch of tut on the boat, stuff you could buy, as well as refreshments. And nobody bought anything, you're not obligated, but one woman brought a coconut, super reasonably priced, and she was very friendly, so it was really a nice little incident there. And then we came upon the artist community, and this was our first stop. We stopped here and we walked along, and we had this incredibly friendly and knowledgeable and humble Thai guide, and here he describes something.
The temple in Thailand is always concerned with the money.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Our second place to visit was the Royal Wat Paknam Phasi Charoen temple, and this is where our guide explained where the monks come to dine, and they eat once per day. So this is the dining hall, and they come, and people can watch them eat. Actually, they eat at these low tables, come in the place and consume their meal, and that's it for the day. And then we checked out the big Buddha.
And the size of the Buddha is 69 meters tall and 45 meters on ceiling. It finished for 2 years and 5 years under construction before. And the cost for building this Buddha is 638 million.
The big Buddha is quite a sight to see, and I understand that the visitorship to the temple has increased quite a bit since the big Buddha was completed a few years ago.
Sometimes the lady comes first or third. Yes. Buddhist monks have to work 27 rules to be everything. No, you can't.
During the tour of the inside of the temple, our guide showed us a lot of the valuables that are stored there, and one of the things was showing us the bowls, the type of bowls that the monks eat from, and that was really interesting. And then there was a lot of really, really valuable solid gold stuff behind glass, but you can still see it, and it's pretty cool that it's available for the public to see. And our guide showed us a lot of these valuables and described them and the weight. So it was really fun to walk around. I was really intrigued by this very large solid gold Buddha.
The solid gold Buddha is 1,250 kilograms of solid gold.
And this green structure was pretty amazing. The lighting was spectacular. It was beautiful to look at. I'm not sure how much of it is emerald, but probably some of it. We came out behind the big Buddha and we got a beautiful view of the city of Bangkok in the background. And after that, it was time to jump back in the boat and head back the way we came, and we ended up going through the lock gates again, and we got to see some of the other boats, and you can see there's a big turbo diesel engines on these boats. They're 4-cylinder and they're over 200 horsepower, and these boats can move along pretty well if they want to. But here's another view of the turbo diesel engines. You can see there's no muffler. They're kind of loud, but the turbocharger keeps them reasonably quiet. And as we go through the gate, the tour boats all lined up, bellied up to one another, and they just waited for the gates to open. The drivers were talking to each other, and our tour guide was talking to the drivers, so it's just kind of a chill thing. And what happens is the boats go one direction first, and you can see how slow this boat is going, and the reason for that is he doesn't want to create a lot of weight. All those boats are next to each other, and if they rock around too much, they'll be banging around. So all the drivers know how to deal with this, and you can see all the flowers that they put on the front of the boats, and I think they change those periodically to keep them fresh and bright. So first of all, the boats come through in one direction, and we just chill and wait, and once they pass, and then we proceed through the lock gates. And you can see the other one is closed. So once we get inside here, we're going to stop again, and then we'll go through the final gate. Hope you enjoyed the canal tour. I do recommend it, and I really appreciate you checking out the video. So until next time, thanks for watching.